Hello, welcome to chapter 3
No
of my
weapon
book,
formed
The
against
Walk
me
of
shall
Grace and
prosper.
Faith, and this is
And every tongue
titled
rises
Carter.
against me in judgment thou shalt
My
condemn.
mother's marriage to Carter wasn't simple, but it wasn't bad either. In a
Isaiah
way, it was
54:17
kind of
speaks
love,
directly
not
to
the
the
fairy
protection
tale
and security
kind,
of
not the
God's
safe
people.
kind, but the kind where two
The
people
promise is not
build,
that we will never face
even
weapons,
when life
struggles,
has
or
already
opposition,
worn them
but
down.
that they will not
He
succeed.
provided for
The
us, he
enemy
had
may
a
form
job,
weapons against us, whether
and he
physical,
always hustled on the
emotional, or
side.
spiritual, but they
But
will not
even with
prosper or
that, he
prevail.
kept a roof over our
Weapons will
head.
be formed
He made
against
sure
us
we
in
had
life.
food,
We
and
will
he made
face
sure we had
battles,
clothes.
trials, and even
And every
spiritual
Sunday,
attacks.
without fail, he
These
took
can
us
come
to
in many
church.
forms:
Every
illness,
Saturday,
financial
he sat us
hardship,
down
rejection,
and studied the
betrayal, or
Bible with
spiritual
us.
discouragement.
He
However,
knew
these
scripture.
weapons
He
will not
believed
have
in God.
ultimate power
He
over
tried to
us.
lead us
The
spiritually,
promise is
even while
clear.
fighting his own
No weapon
demons.
formed against us shall
That was
succeed.
the confusing
God does
part,
not say
the
we
mix
won't
of
face
good and bad
difficulties,
in
but
the
He
same
assures me.
man. As a kid, I didn't understand everything, but I understood enough. I knew my mother loved him. I knew he loved her in his own way. But I also knew something wasn't right. My mother would say things like he was cheating, that he was sleeping with other women, but I never saw one. My mother I never saw one, but I saw the way my mother looked when she talked about it. Hurt, tired, and disappointed. Kids notice more than adults think. I noticed the tension. I noticed the arguments. I noticed the way my mother's voice changed when she would talk about other women. Even though I didn't see the cheating myself, I saw the pain it caused, and sometimes pain is proof enough. Carter was a provider, but he was also a man with secrets, a man with habits, a man who could pray with us on Saturday and still disappear into the streets on Monday, a man who could quote scripture and still break my mother's heart. That was the world Grace and I grew up in, a house where love and dysfunction lived side by side, a house where the Bible sat on the table as the cocaine scales did. A house where we learn early that people can be more than one person at the same time. And that truth will follow us into every chapter of our lives. Carter didn't come into our lives alone. He had a daughter of his own, a little girl just a few months older than me and Grace. Her name was Leanne, and even though she wasn't our blood, she became our sister in every way that mattered. We grew up together. We played together. We fought like siblings do. We shared toys, clothes, secrets, and the kind of childhood moments that bond kids for life. There was never a time when we looked at her as his daughter or the other child. She was ours. She was part of us. She belonged with us just as much as we belonged with her. In a house full of instability, addiction, and adult problems we didn't understand, the three of us found comfort in each other. We didn't know the full story of what the grown ups were doing. We didn't understand the weight of the choices that they were making, but we understood sisterhood. We understood loyalty. We understood love. And in a strange way, Carter gave us that. A sister who walked through the same storms we did. Even though he hustled on the side, even though he struggled with his own demons, even though he wasn't faithful to my mother, he still created a home where the three of us could grow together. He still made sure we went to church every Sunday. He still set us down every Saturday to study the Bible. He still provided for us in a way that mattered, even while he was breaking things in other ways. That was the confusing part of childhood. Learning that people can be both good and flawed at the same time. Learning that someone can teach you scripture and still hurt the person you love. Learning that a man can be a provider and the source of pain. But through it all, Leanne was our sister, not by blood, but by life, by experience, by survival. and the three of us would need each other for everything that was coming next.